You are 10 minutes away from making $100 an hour sports betting. No, seriously. This is the exact strategy that I used almost 3 years ago when I started my sports betting journey and made almost $5,000 in 17 days. And if you want your profits to blow up, you don't need to hit on a 10-leg parlay or have $50,000 set aside for sports betting. And the best part is you don't need to know anything about the teams, the players, or sports. This entire strategy is based on math. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to execute this strategy, utilizing free calculators and showcasing to you my secret weapon that helps me lock in these profits in a matter of seconds. It's how I earned $20,000 in profit last year sports betting. I'm also going to answer some FAQs so you know exactly how to implement this strategy to perfection. These sports books like FanDuel, DraftKings, or BetMGM are in competition for your business. That's why you constantly see advertisements on TV or your phone, because they want you to come play at their sports book. And so with this competition means that these books set their own odds or prices on their own. And because of that, that is how arbitrage betting is even possible. The term arbitrage has been around since the stock market was invented. And so when we utilize this strategy, we're placing a wager on one sportsbook on Team A, and on a different sportsbook, we're placing a wager on Team B. Because their odds or prices are different, we're going to place different wager amounts, and that's where the calculator, as I'm going to show you a little bit later, is going to be so helpful. It's going to do all the work for us. So we're going to have both outcomes covered, the winner and the loser, and no matter what happens, we're going to make a profit. So let's dive into an actual example where I placed an arbitrage bet on two different sportsbooks and locked in guaranteed profits. In this example, I placed two wagers. One wager on FanDuel and another on Bovada. Now, this was a game between the Atlanta Hawks and Minnesota Timberwolves, and we're focusing on the first half spread. So over at FanDuel, I placed a $900 wager for the Hawks at plus 15.5 points on the first half spread, meaning that if the Hawks were in the lead at halftime, if the score was tied, or if they were losing the first half by 15 points or less, the wager would win over at FanDuel. Over at Bovada, I placed a wager on the Timberwolves at minus 15.5 points for $195. So the Timberwolves needed to be up by 16 points or more at halftime in order for this wager to win. So my total investment between FanDuel and Bovada is $1,095. If the wager wins over at FanDuel, we would receive a total payout of $1,119 and change. Well, our total investment is $1,095. So taking $1,119 minus $1,095 leaves us a profit of $24 and change, meaning we're going to receive all the money back from FanDuel and Bovada that we wagered on this play, plus $24 in profit. Now, on the flip side, if the Timberwolves had a large lead, which they ended up crushing the Hawks in the first half, then we would receive a total payout of $1,121 or a $26 profit. Remember, $1,121 paid out over at Bovada minus the $195 and also minus the $900 we wagered over at FanDuel leaves us a profit of $26. So within a matter of 2 minutes, I locked in either $24 or $26 in profit. And in this case, the bet won over at Bovada, so I made $26 risk-free. Something that you want to focus on here with this Hawks and Timberwolves example is whenever the plus odds are bigger than the minus odds, this is a guaranteed way that we can make risk-free profit, meaning Bovada had odds of plus 475. Well, 475 is a larger number than 410 over at FanDuel. That's how we know we can make guaranteed profit. Now, something that else is important to remember with arbitrage betting is that this play that I grabbed, this wasn't sitting out there for hours and hours on end. The sports betting market is no different than the stock market. Prices are constantly changing in fluctuation depending on the news or just betting activity. So typically you have less than 5 minutes to go in and swoop up this value. So you want to make sure that you're moving quickly and efficiently, and speed is going to be the key to the game of success when it comes to arbitrage. Now I'm going to show you my software, and we are going to place an actual arbitrage bet right now so that you can see for yourself firsthand how it's actually possible to make risk-free money sports betting. The software that I use that finds all of these arbitrage opportunities for me is OddsJam's arbitrage tool. Guys, linked in the description will be a 1-week free trial, and then use my code Billy35 to save yourself 35% off your first month after the trial ends. So what this tool does is all I just tell it is, well, listen, these are all the different sports books that I have accounts with. I just want you to scan the hundreds of thousands of different betting opportunities out there where we can make risk-free cash. So right here on this left-hand side, the ARB percentage, this is our return off of our investment. So over here on the right, this is the calculator. You can simply just tell the calculator, how much money do you want to make on this Desmond Bain play? Meaning that we're going to wager $100 on DraftKings, $32 on Bet365. Again, the plus odds are bigger than the minus odds. We can make guaranteed profit of either $2 or $3. If you wanted to put more money down, then you can just tell the calculator how much you want to wager, and you can find out exactly how much money you can make based off of these wagers. Now, what we're going to do is focus on this first half point spread play between FanDuel and Bovada. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and utilize the one-click bet feature, which is another subtle little key when it comes to arbitrage betting. The wager is automatically pulled up for us right here. And when we go ahead and type in this wager amount, how much can we wager? As you can see, I have $2,800 in my balance. The maximum wager is $866 over at FanDuel, which is quite sizable. Again, we're taking Pistons at plus 6.5 on the first half spread at minus 385 odds. Over at Bovada, we're going to look to take the Bulls at minus 6.5. So we're just going to scroll down here, come over to alternate lines, and I'm just going to go down to spread first half. Again, we're looking at the Bulls at minus 6.5 odds here at plus 425. You can see when I click the Bet Max button that we're looking at a max wager of $3,125. So the beauty here is with both sports books, we now know the max wager that we can place on this bet. And now we can just figure out, well, how much money do we want to make? Now, another pro tip is I like to make my wagers in zeros and in fives. So over at DraftKings, I'm going to place a $420 wager on the Pistons. And then over at Bovada, I'm going to place a $100 wager over there. My total investment is $520. And no matter what happens, I'm either going to make $5 or $9, or I'm going to make a 1.57% return off of $520. So over here at DraftKings, I lock this in with the Pistons. Over at Bovada, I go ahead and place a $100 wager on the Bulls. And there we have it. We just placed a wager for a max of $520. We're either going to receive $525 back if this play wins over at Bovada, meaning we're going to get $5 in profit. Or if the bet wins over at FanDuel, we're going to receive our $520 back plus $9.09. True to its word, bingo. The calculator tells us exactly how much money we're going to make. We just locked in guaranteed profit. Utilizing OddsJam's Bet Tracker, I click on this plus symbol right here. We're going to be able to track these bets utilizing the free Bet Tracker, so we don't have to keep a ledger for ourselves. The software does everything for us. One frequently asked question is, well, what's the best time to execute arbitrage betting? And what you're going to find out is usually 30 minutes to an hour before a lot of these NBA games start, you're going to see opportunities that live in that 3 to 5% range consistently. I am recording this video 5 hours before any of the games start. So as you can see, there are profitable opportunities, but as we wait a little bit closer to when the games start, that's an awesome time to lock in a lot of arbitrage opportunities. If you found value in the content thus far, make sure to smash that subscribe button, click that thumbs up button, and also click that bell notification so you don't miss the next video that I release. Another frequently asked question is, well, Billy, I heard that if you make money sports betting, you're going to get limited. And the reality of the situation is you're going to get limited if you want to make money sports betting, period. It doesn't matter what strategy that you implement, or maybe your best friend just gives you a lot of consistent winners. If you make money consistently long-term off of the books, that's not their ideal customer. The sports books are in business to make money off of you. So when it's on the other end and you're beating them, they don't like that. But as you saw in that example, I was using an offshore sports book called Bovada. I love to utilize reputable offshore sports books like BetOnline, Bookmaker, MyBookie, or Bovada. These books have been around for a decade plus. More offshore sports books affords me more opportunities, more arbitrage, and profitable bets that I can place to lock in more profits. While I do utilize a lot of the recreational sports books, what you're going to find out is limits come a little bit quicker with the recreational sports books compared to offshores, and offshores just opened up a whole new world for me. Another way that I love to utilize arbitrage betting is when I'm placing parlay slips. And you might say to yourself, That doesn't make any sense. Well, in this example, I had a 3-leg parlay over at my bookie on 3 different player prop bets. Now, there was something that was very important with these bets because 2 of these games, the Magic game and the Wizards game, started at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where the Lakers-Jazz game didn't tip off until 3.5 hours later at 10:30. Well, lo and behold, I hit the first 2 legs of this parlay, cashing on Paulo's under and Malcolm Brogdon's under on 3s. So now I'm sitting here with about 40 minutes to go before the Laker game tips off, and all I need is Dorian Finney-Smith Jr. to grab 3 rebounds or less. Well, instead of letting this ride, I went over to Bet365 and placed a $250 wager on Dorian Finney-Smith to get 4 rebounds or more. I hedged my bet. So let's break this down. I wagered $250 on Dorian Finney-Smith to get the over on his rebounds, and I placed a $100 wager on this 3-leg parlay where I need him to get 3 rebounds or less. My total investment is $350. If the parlay hits over at my bookie, I'm going to get paid out $604 minus my $350 investment, $100 on my bookie, $250 on Bet365. I'm going to profit $254. But if Dorian Finney-Smith grabs 4 rebounds or more, which in this example, he actually did, and I lost my parlay, well, I'm getting paid out a total of $537. Minus the $350 that I wagered, I made a profit of $187.50. So in certain circumstances, this is where I love to create parlays, leave my last leg of my parlay as a late night game. In case I hit a few legs, I can then hedge my bet to guarantee myself a profit no matter what happens. These are the strategies that sharp sports bettors use to grow their bankrolls consistently. It's not all smoke and mirrors how they're making money. These little insights and tips that I'm sharing with you with arbitrage betting or hedging your last leg of your parlay to guarantee yourself a profit is how you can consistently grow your bankroll. Arbitrage betting is just one strategy that I use, and I've recently started to implement a top-down sports betting strategy, and it's made a massive impact in my bottom line, so much so that I made $7,000 last month in January. So check out this video right here where I'm going to show you what it is and how you can make thousands in 1 month sports betting.